Well, hello there friends, Stag here. Welcome back to my channel where I showcase the creation process of my lowbrow and gothic fantasy art and ramble the art things. So, Inktober is right around the corner and I figured I would do a preliminary video and talk about the supplies I'll be using this year and my other channel news. I've been in a bit of a spotty position with posting videos. I've had a bit of family emergency, which has been making the videos a little harder at the moment, so the reanimator ended up taking longer to produce with a voiceover. Inktober videos, I will try to post one a day through the month of October, and they will most likely be voiceover free. I don't know, it depends on how much time there is, because it's a huge undertaking to commit to do one a day as well as creating the art daily, as I don't currently have the time to cheat and do them earlier. I see people post finished detailed pieces right off the bat in the morning, and I assume a lot of people do kind of cheat. They put out the theme lists like a month ahead of time, so I'm sure a lot of people take advantage of that. I don't plan on doing any theme list. I really don't want to. I'd rather just stick to an ink drawing a day. I don't want to be pigeonholed and doing something I just don't feel like doing. But I'm sure there will be some days that I might fudge a little bit and do like 2 in a day. Halloween is always busy for me. It's my anniversary and I do have a kid, so, and my daughter's birthday also falls in the month of October, so there's at least 2 days in the month that I am fairly busy. But I've been sketching out some early concepts as I want to focus more on characters again, but I've been so behind all around on all the things, and I had hoped to at least finish out a pretty good pool of characters I can just pull from for the month, but I'm even behind on that. Like, I just want to keep making more and more concepts anyways. So, let's cut to the chase now. I will be using B watercolor paper again this year. I really like it. It has a nice texture, it's not too thick or thin, and I like the 6" by 9" size. I use it often for little art card originals, and I used it for my Inktobers last year, as well as some graphite pieces earlier this year for when I did my Creepers and Haunts project. Erasers. I prefer gum erasers. After the first quick lining of the piece, I go through and erase all the pencil lines. I'm not really sure where I picked up my preferences for gum erasers, but I just like them for a large surface of erasing. They are relatively smudge free and not too abrasive. They're pretty crumbly. I do my initial sketches that are relatively light, so they work well. I needed to restock, so I picked up a pack of them. I also use them on the back of my easel to stabilize paintings sometimes, because I do not like that easel lip that comes up, so I sometimes like try to raise them with them as well. So when I get paint on them, I end up not using them as much. I also really like the Tombow Mono Zero Eraser. Like, it's really good for getting in the cracks and crevices. It's a mechanical eraser, and I got some refills for that. Like, I use this all the time, but I really like how I can get the nice details for it. And I also use my Graphic Gear pencils from Pentel. I prefer 0.5. This year's pen set will be the same Copic pens I used last year. It's a 9-piece multi-liner set B from Copic. I still have all these pens, but they have been used fairly heavily, and I wanted spares for the next month because I know I will probably go through some of these as well and have to reorder at some point. My most used sizes are 0.05, 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, and the small and medium brushes. The others I only use out of necessity, as the 0.3 is really too small for my preference, and the 0.8 and 1.0 are just too big for the lining I do. If I do need to fill an even bigger area, I also do keep a regular black Copic marker, but the inks don't really seem to look the same. They don't mesh as well. Like there is, I think, more of a sheen possibly to the Copic black, even though they're from the same brand. Last year I tried out the refillable versions of these pens, and I have a couple, but I cannot for the life of me find them this year. However, I didn't try too many of them, but I do remember that I found the nibs, though they are replaceable, they wore out and frayed much faster than I expected, and I could use these disposable pens for the entirety of their life, but it seemed like I had replaced the nibs too frequently on the refillable ones. I would prefer to use some type of refillable. I used to use Rapidograph pens years ago, but I got tired of dealing with the clogged nibs, and because I used a relatively thin one, and it just would clog so frequently. But I might try to get some more of these in refillable versions, but that would just be like an investment maybe for next year. It's just not happening this year. I wanted to get all my supplies kind of in order before Inktober could start, and start somewhat fresh. Last year I ran into a little bit of an issue when I had to replace pens real quick because they ran out, and I wasn't really expecting it. I didn't have backups of some of the sizes, and when I went up to Amazon, ones that I needed ended up taking like a week or two to ship because, you know, it's Inktober. Like a lot of people probably bought out the pens really quickly, so it was like longer than normal. They expected them to ship. Finally, the last crucial thing for this Inktober for me is a white liner. I have been using jelly rolls for years, but I keep seeing people post how Signo is better, so I got a couple to try, and wow, the coverage and flow is great. However, I'd be curious to try it against a 1.0 size and jelly roll. I have noticed that the 0.5 is pretty spotty in coverage and flow, and so I prefer to use the 0.8 because it flows much nicer with a little bit of a thicker tip. So right now I don't know where my 1.0, my 10, whatever, I'm just confused because like they put a 0 before the other numbers, but I can't find it right now to do a test to compare it to the Signo, but I know it flows much better than the 0.8. Like there's no point on the thing, so I keep getting confused in my head because it's just numbers. Anyway, I am now sold on the Signos from Uniball though. I will definitely, when I find one of the 1.0s, I will try it against the Uniball. It seems like it is very similar to the 0.8 size though. So I would still like to see it against the 1.0 to see. Anyways guys, this was my list of supplies in a recent Amazon restock. So if I don't post a video until then, I will see you in October for a month of ink work. You can also find me on Patreon peddling my monthly mystery packs and digital coloring sheets. I am also on Instagram where I post my current works in progress, sketches, and news. And as always, you can find my website, lowbrowmisfits.com, for a medley of prints, paintings, stickers, pins, and more. Featuring merit. Well, bye.